You see, yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Game time. Run it up.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. This defense for the Saints, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
From the 22, Jackson. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week. So Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Hill. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week. yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Hill now to throw.
Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And he used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The Saints at 6-2 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now a shotgun handoff to Hill. And he's got some space here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Jackson running again. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Isabella now from his end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Andy Isabella. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Saints.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yes,
Lutz now to kick this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
6 yards left on second down. Play action. It's Jackson. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. On the move past the 40. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. About 3 yards there to the 27.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Jackson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Hill escaping the pressure right. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Montez Sweat with a tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jackson options out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Isabella now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. In motion left goes Green. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield.
46 yards.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it out of the gun with Hill. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Right back to Dobbins on first. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, they're going to go with the option. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 18. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Isabella now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the 2nd half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
It's a gain of 33.
Hill on 1st down. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Thomas the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
Touchdown, Saints!
Justin Jefferson
with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit it.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Isabella now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Graham. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So in Raven territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 34.
On first and 10, it's Robinson.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Brian Robinson Jr. with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Lots of look to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Lutz now to kick this one away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Shifts past him at the 45. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
Now, like that, he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. To try again after the sack. Jackson, throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. So a design run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly
He's
didn't.
lost.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. Now a first down carry. It's Hill.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 18 more yards there and another first down.
Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here's Hill one more time.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now it's Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
A give up the gut to Hill. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down, here's an option right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out.
And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
35. Justin Tucker, the kickoff for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Isabella now from his end zone.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101. What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Give to Robinson on the option.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
2nd down and a run by Robinson.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. The partner under the...
I told my boys it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in
I'm
the
whipping
game.
and track out with messed up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running streets, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it over. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just real the jersey. It's the first half and we done dropped 30. We just up to scoring them, boy, man.
I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits.
Put your
Head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with them bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I turn on my vision. You young, she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it up hop. I can't even go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the life.